Okay, so I'm watching my trailer here again. So you just got done watching this one. Now you're going to go into this one here. So before you go into this one, I want to give you another piece of information. So I previously said that there's a particular scene here where I theorize that it's a mother. Um, so this is the scene here. She's talking to Aang, and she basically says, "I knew you were real. I always knew you'd return." So this is where I theorize that mother, um, like like probably 1% of her might have believed my story. Can you imagine her having like a crush on me through a photograph? As a young lady, her entire life, and then all of a sudden to hear her crush come up with this crazy story that the two of you are the creators. That's interesting. He's My crush is telling me that we're soulmates and that him and I are the creators. There might have been like maybe 1% of you would think that he's real. Like, I wonder if it's real. Oh man, you could live in a fantasy world. Like, oh man, it'd be so awesome if it was real. If he was the creator and I was the creator. It comes from that perspective, like, because the stories that I was telling in my community, they were pretty far out in left field. Like, sounding really crazy in the beginning. Like, we're talking supernatural stuff, right? Believing in the Garden of Eden where there was like little 6-inch tall fairies flying around with wings and little people that are 6 inches tall, right? So, what else did I have in there? That they're elves, elves and dwarves, and they were all 6 inches tall, and that they were real. So it was a pretty crazy story at the beginning, and then subsequent stories it kind of got worse and worse. Where I was telling stories about her that weren't real. So, but if I can imagine her having a little bit of a crush, and then just a little bit of her wondering if it's real. So that's what the particular scene is about, soulmate. You potentially believing that I was real. So it's like, I always knew you were real, Anthony. Like, well, 1% of me always wondered if you were real. And then it's like, I always knew you'd return. Return, like in terms of, he's been gone for years. Like, I haven't heard a peep from him in so long. I wonder what's going on with him. It comes from that perspective, like that 1% of you always wondering if I'd return and what I would have to say next. Because you've only ever heard me talk a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But this time around, when I return, you're going to hear me talk scientifically. That's what that scene is about. That's where I got it from. But I now, as I'm watching that and how it blurs out like that, that's what I want to explain. So I look at it with new perspective. And so for the first 9 lives, I've only ever been this green wave. That's me. That's sound. This is silence. So in terms of audio visual, this is audio. This green wave, it's audio. So sound. So when you see that girl there, and then it kind of, she blurs out into the background, and then it zeroes in on the ear over here. When you see that there, and then it zeroes in over to Aang's ear, from clear to blurry, it's a representation of my daughters in the good universe here. So these are my daughters up here, only ever being able to hear me because I'm that wave. So over here, that's my daughter up here, and they've only ever been able to hear me because of this wave being purified when I do my running. Of course, I don't have that ready right here. So this is me running. So every time I'm running between now and Christmas time, they must get a signal somehow, some way. A signal travels over to their universe via that invisible electromagnetic radiation wave right here, this green one. So when I bind the hydrogen to it, it must send a or possibly this one here. Probably when this hydrogen binds to that there, it must send a signal over. Or, and possibly all past lives, I've never been hydrogen. Ever. I've never been hydrogen, ever. That's more logical. So what's more logical is because I've never been hydrogen, I was successful in purifying this wave here by running. But this wave here remains evil, because that's evil grandmother. So if I've never been hydrogen in a past lives, I could never bind the hydrogen to the wave like that, because this is positive and the wave is negative. So if I've only ever been in that wave there, that means that they can hear me. So right now they'd hear what I'm saying, but the question is, would they understand it? I don't think so, because we're visual learners. You need to see something. So to hear somebody talk without having a picture in front of you is very hard. You wouldn't understand what the person is talking about whatsoever. You'd only ever hear the words, and because if you've only ever spoken Anishinaabe, the language of the universe, you wouldn't understand what I'm saying. It would make no sense. You need that picture to understand. If you see the picture there, like if I'm talking about invisible electromagnetic radiation waves that are orange and green, and you know, you would understand. But if you didn't understand our language, but suddenly could see the wave, you'd you could put the words to it. Like I would say, invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, earth, fire, earth, fire, earth, fire. And they can put those sounds together like, oh, that's what the language is. It's earth. Oh, it's fire. And this here, I would say, earth, proton, fire, electron. And they would understand those sounds, and put that together. So when you see her there and you see his ear, that's what it represents. All past 9 lives, me being only this wave here, and them only be able to pick up on my sound. So when I seen that, I thought, oh, they must be able to hear me in that positive universe up here. So sometime between now and whenever these aliens arrive, the good guys, they must get that signal. Because when I'm running, I'm purifying the wave here, the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave here. I'm purifying that. And so as it becomes more pure, I'm able to send out a signal via this wave here. But for the first time ever, they're going to see the visual. They've only ever heard the audio. So now they're going to see me talking and hear me talking while looking at the picture. Now, that's critical to understanding, to letting them know what I want. So basically, I'm going to give you a short video of what I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them, like I'll do this here. So they'll understand this here. If I point to that there, go here. I go here. They'll understand that I'm fire and earth. And then if I point to that there, that red one, and point to that man running like that, they'll understand that that yellow one is pure and that blue one is pure. And then if I point to that there and go like this, and then this here, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, they'll understand that it's me. I'm all of those. Now this is the critical part here. They'll understand this here, as being an earth, like a planet. And they'll understand these waves is terraforming it. So when I show them that, they'll know that those are UFOs. Like I'll show, they'll see that reactor, they'll know what that reactor looks like. And they'll recognize that as a UFO. And they'll say, oh, he's talking about terraforming, deatomizing the planet. Because here you can see it, and then here it's gone. So they'll know that they can terraform the planet again. They'll see the nuclear fusion reactor, they'll see those waves, and they'll say, oh, okay, he's saying that we can try terraforming the planet. So then I'll show them this. I'll say this here. So I'll show them that UFO. And then I'll show them here, like I'll show the people there. standing, and then the people standing that way. They'll see that there's a difference. And then I'll show the wheel going like that, spinning inside. They'll know that that's a centrifuge, and that there's people walking around in there on the outside and from a top-down view. Then I'll show them that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I show them again here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We want to use this here, 11. So they'll see that and they'll recognize, okay, he's talking about 11 nuclear fusion reactors in that UFO. Here, and I'll show them that engine. I'll say there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. When I go like that, they'll recognize that as being an engine, like it pushes it. It's a 4-stage engine. They'll know that there's 4 stages to it. And then I'll show them this here. When I show them that there, they'll recognize that as a hydrogen atom. They'll look at it here. They'll know that that's an Earth proton and a fire electron. And they'll know that's a sun and a planet. And they'll say, oh, he's upscaling the hydrogen atom to the size of a sun and a planet. He's basically saying the electromagnetic field of the sun and the planet is scaling up to the size of an atom. And then if I point to that UFO here, those reactors, 10, 11, point to the UFO here, like that. And then come up here and show them these hydrogen atoms and how that spaceship, the metal there, it can ride upon the wave of hydrogen. They'll understand that that UFO can now ride upon the hydrogen wave because of the 11 nuclear fusion reactors being equivalent at the quantum scale to the hydrogen or the electricity produced by a hydrogen atom at the quantum scale. They'll connect all those dots. And then they'll say, oh, I see, he wants a UFO. And then I'd have to show these rail guns here. Like this. So these here, I'd show them this rail gun here. So that's positive. That's negative. So they'd look at that and they'd understand that that's like a projectile. And I'd show that there and I'd go like that. Projectile. So they'd understand that as being like positive and negative. Because of it's being red and black, and they'd understand like a projectile there. There's like loading there. So I point to those there. And if I went like this, they'd understand that the bullets like that wrap around the entire spaceship like that. Oh, he's saying that those bullets wrap right around the entire spaceship. So I go 1, 2, 3. So if I was to go that small one, say this big, that bigger one, say this big, and then if I went like that one there, and tilted that even more, went like that big, they'd get the message and understand, okay, he wants some kind of a railgun on there, something, a weapon that they've never designed before. So that's just a short introduction of the type of video that I have to create for them. and send that over sometime between now and December. So when you see this particular scene here and it fades out from her to his ear, it represents in a past life sending a audio sound via this green wave to the positive universe up here where my daughters are. They get the sound from the magnetic wave, but they don't get the visual from the electric wave until now. So with that little training session there, what I just showed you, eventually is what I'm going to have to show them so that we can get UFOs built there. So when you see that, that's what it represents. My daughter's only ever being able to hear me, but finally, for the first time, being able to see me. So when she says, I knew you were real, I always knew you'd return, it's basically my daughter's in this universe waiting for 200,000 years for me, like the real McCoy to show up with a video screen so they could interpret what I'm trying to say. So for 10 lives, or 9 lives, they've only ever been able to hear me. But finally on the 10th life, they can now see what I'm pointing at and they can understand what I'm saying. That's what it means. So as I watch that, it's also about Mother, 1% of her wondering if I am the real deal, the creator, and when I'll return. But it's also about my daughters in this universe here, wondering when I'm going to return. Like, we can hear him, but we can't understand what he's saying. Oh, holy smokes, we can actually see now what he's talking about. He's returned. And he wants UFOs built that can travel upon a wave of hydrogen. He wants a UFO built that can travel upon the wave of hydrogen. I don't even know about the other one here. Right there. So he wants a UFO built that can, travel along in the universe. And does it rely on the hydrogen wave? Or the right here, this is the one. So if I use this one here and show them that, this one here is being that, they're going to say, oh my goodness, he wants a spaceship that can ride the hydrogen at the quantum scale by putting 11 nuclear fusion reactors in it so that it can ride a wave of hydrogen. If it can ride a wave of hydrogen, we can get into that universe. We don't need the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave to ride over there. We can just sail across there using the hydrogen. We can go sail over there and go see what he's up to on that planet Earth. So when they see those little dots, they're going to realize that that spaceship can ride upon the hydrogen and that it can come into our universe here, from their universe over to our universe. Like this. Let's put that there. This is you guys. This is us. There. They'll understand, okay, he wants a spaceship with guns on it, and we can fly over there, we can terraform the planet. Let's do that. Let's go rescue our father and our mother. That's what that means. So it's taken me 18 minutes to explain it, but you now understand how much information could be compressed into a subliminal visual scene of one trailer. So that's just one trailer, and I got all that information in my brain instantly once I seen her standing there and then fading out to his ear. I could understand that they could only ever hear me. They can't see me. Well, now you know that that's all that they've ever been for the past 200,000 years. They've only ever been able to hear me. Until now, they can see me. So at some point in time, when I make a better video, what I just showed you, that's just a precursor to what I'll do. They're going to get the visual signal. And I'm hoping at Christmas time, when these clowns try to come over here, pretend to be the good guys, that I'll have some backup come here. Because these UFOs, these are these are 12 miles wide. The other ones that they got are 8 miles wide. So our UFOs will be like a dead giveaway. They'll be bigger than the ones they got. So that's this particular scene here. You'll notice the UFO is slightly, it's bigger than that one. So If I did that, if I went like that, I went like that, small, and then if I went like that and I went big, if I went like this, I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'd understand that's 8 miles wide. But if I went this one, like that, and then went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they know it has to be 12 miles across. And that's how we can tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys. My UFOs are going to be 12 miles across, whereas the other UFOs are going to be 8 miles across. And that's how hopefully we can defend ourselves. And these dummies try to come around here, pull the wool over your eyes, and convince you guys that they're the good guys. But, if my calculations are correct, that ain't going to happen because they're going to see for the first time ever what I want. So, remember that, guys, when, you see 8 mile wide UFOs here, that those are the bad guys, because the good guys will be in 12 mile wide UFOs. And they'll come here and blow those dumbass aliens from the Milky Way, our neighbors who are pretending to be the good guys, coming over in their 8 mile wide UFOs, pretending to be the good guys. They'll blow those dumbass aliens out of the air when they get here.